Johnny, thank you for your time. I just wanted to ask you a few questions to update the Old Stoic Racing Club owners and also the wider school community and the thousands of followers that the club must have. A few questions, nothing too strenuous. It's not like Mastermind. Just give us a bit of background about you, how you started working in racing, and did your family have much of a background in racing as the microwave pings?
Sorry.
It could be a lorry reversing into the house. I started in racing as a farmer's son with pointers and Arabians, and then I was sent off to work in the yard near Lambourne with a jumps trainer, Captain Tim Forster. And from there I was sent to France to work as assistant trainer to Jonathan Pease in Chantilly, which was beautiful. And I rode as an amateur rider and travelled horses to America for Breeders' Cups. And that was 4 years of a lot of fun. And then I went to Newmarket to work for Luca Comani in the days of Barathea, won the Breeders' Cup. And not long after that, I started training, and I started training in 1998, which seems a long time ago now, doesn't it? I still haven't won a derby, but I'm working on it.
Quite right. And
my family is my uncle is Henry Candy, who's a very good trainer, getting on a bit, but he's okay. And my father loved racing, so I did have it in the blood, rather.
Fantastic. And where was your first yard?
I started training in near Newbury, in a place called Compton on the Downs, near East Ilsley. Beautiful place. But we outgrew the yard. We needed a bigger yard, so we moved to Lambourne in about 8 years ago.
Wonderful. And obviously this this club has had you on board for a year now. Last season was quite extraordinary, really, and nothing that we anticipated as a first dipping the toe into the flat side of things. But I mean, what were your reflections on the sensational summer that we had with Mild Illusion?
Well, it was a lovely ride, wasn't it? And to do it with a filly who only cost £1,000. If I try to repeat that for you, I might not be so fortunate. So we have rather spoilt each other. She spoilt me and I've spoilt you, but we'll try and repeat it. It gave me a lot of pleasure because just seeing her develop through the season and having half an eye on what her plan would be during the year and seeing those various races come off, being allowed by you, the owners, to let me place her where I wanted to place her was particularly helpful. And, she was just such a nice person too. And interestingly, the stud where she's gone, I sent them a message the other day. They're not very good at their feedback. And I said, please tell me that you like her and that she's a nice person. And I got one back straight away saying, nice person is an understatement, in that they've never had such a charming person of such a good temperament. So you can see I got a lot of pleasure out of having a horse like that in the yard because they do make life a lot easier.
Of course. And as we look forward to this season, the club have taken a lead stake in a couple of horses, Sheila Roche, a nice Pearl Secret filly, and then a French Navy colt. Just briefly, how are they, and what are your plans for them?
Well, the filly Sheila Roche is, she's my first season stallion, Pearl Secret, so no one knows what he's going to produce, but she's a very different type to Mild Illusion in that she's leggy and lean and a bit buzzy, but she's galloped this morning and pleased me. She wants to get on with it. She has a good attitude in that regards, touch wood, to date she'd been sound and her limbs have taken all the developmental work that all 2-year-olds have to go through at this time of year. And there's no reason why she can't run at the end of June in an appropriate race. And get her started. But she's showing me very positive signs at the moment. I don't pretend for a minute that she's going to be the next Mile Illusion. She won't be able to run in all the sort of races we could start Mile Illusion off in, sadly. She's not qualified for a lot of races, but early signs are good, promising. And the colt, in the spring when I put him up to you, I was very excited to how forward he was. He was doing everything much easier than a lot of other 2-year-old colts at the same age in the yard. Since then, as always happens with 2-year-olds, they change so much. He is looking like he's going to need a bit more time, and he's going to want more distance for the future. So he's a 1.5 mile horse. I should think 1.25 mile horse, and he is showing all the right signs. But we just need to be a bit patient with him. His half sister is a horse in the yard called Lady Magda, and we like her a lot. She hasn't run in a handicap yet, but he'll be all right. He's a nice, solid sort of horse.
Good. We're looking forward to both of them. And just briefly, I mean, obviously, it would be remiss without talking about the coronavirus and obviously how it's affected the start of the flat season for trainers such as yourself. I mean, in terms of your future views on racing and how you'll resume with it with the new restrictions, exactly what they'll be, we're not completely sure. But I mean, how have you found it all, both during and your feeling for the future with it all?
Well, it was a bit of it was rather irksome when it first started, because we had sort of 25% of the string ready to run end of March and through April, and we'd found very suitable races for them. So, selfishly speaking, it was just a little bit annoying that all those plans and the staff's hard work over the long, wet winter, it was all for nothing. So then obviously it dawned on us that this was far more serious than just our own inconvenience. So we had to just sit tight and work away and hope for the best, that we could keep ourselves and our staff healthy. And then, of course, we had to worry about how much owners in the yard were going to hold their nerve and keep their horses in training so that we could afford to pay the staff. And I'm pleased to say that the majority of the owners have been very patient. We've tried to help them, and they've tried to help us by keeping horses at pre-training rates and that sort of thing. And we managed to keep the yard pretty much full, and so it's been business as usual. The horses have been trained as if they weren't going to start for another couple more months, so not very stressful training. And it's been very much business as usual. There's been work to do, and we've all just got on, and we're working and we're waiting.
Absolutely.
I haven't turned my staff into the London Philharmonic Orchestra like some yards. I haven't grown a beard. I haven't painted the spare room. I've just carried on doing my normal daily job.
There's still a bit of time.
Yeah.
And a couple of questions finally. I mean, obviously, this is a racing club that's focused around Stowe, a school you and I both know well. For you, just briefly, a couple of memories from Stowe, and just briefly what it means to you to be involved as an old boy with many past pupils and parents as owners in your yard.
Yeah, I managed to survive the course at Stowe. I did the full 5 years, much to the amazement of the 2 headmasters that were in charge of me and my parents. All in all, I had a good time there, and the opportunity to rekindle those memories through the Old Stoic Racing Club has been very satisfying for me. I occupied myself largely outdoors rather than indoors in Stowe with the beagles and fishing and ferrets and all those sort of things. So I had a very nice time, and I got an A level too, actually. So it was all rather nice.
Are you able to tell us what it was in?
I can't remember. It could have been French.
What?
Or it might have been geography. I can't remember.
Both of which we'll test you on in the coming season.
Yeah.
And for a bit of fun...
I did start doing it in English, but I had to give that up. I had trouble with the language after a year.
Maybe we can translate this interview. So just finally, a bit of fun. Marmite, love it or hate it?
I don't like it.
Favourite ice cream?
I do rather like those raspberry magnums.
And finally, in light of the current restrictions, favourite UK holiday destination?
Cornwall, definitely.
Cornwall. I think I might know why. Must be the raspberry magnums. Johnny, huge thanks. Great to have you involved for another season. We think you're a fantastic trainer, and best of luck to all of us with the two horses. They're lovely looking, and we're very excited.